Free Fire is directed by Ben Wheatley and stars Brie Larson, Cillian Murphy, Armie Hammer and a few other people, and follows two groups of people who come together, meet at a warehouse to do an arms deal, and it goes wrong and turns into a shootout. Yeah, that is pretty much the film. There isn't a great deal of story in there. There's not a great deal of character development in there. It's just 90 odd minutes of shooting. Two gangs shooting at each other and trying to survive. Pretty much. It's good fun. It was a good fun film. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was there. It's a well-made film. As I said, it's a very simple story. It's a very simple concept. There's not much else to it. The performances in there from everyone, from the whole cast, is the performances are fantastic. I especially loved Brie Larson and Armie Hammer in this film. Their characters are kind of in the middle. They're outsiders. They both arrange the deal, I think, so they're not actually parts of the gangs. They're just outsiders negotiating the deal, putting it together. So they did have better relationships from that because they knew both sides kind of, or they were kind of removed from there, so they had more meat to kind of go on with the script. But all round I thought they were fantastic performances. The direction was extremely dynamic as well for a film that is literally just in one location, except for 2 minutes at the very beginning. The rest of it does just take place in this one warehouse, and it's two gangs shooting at each other. It could have been extremely still, it could have been extremely static and just dull, but Ben Wheatley has done a fantastic job of actually shaking it up, making it look dynamic, making it a bit tense and mildly fast-paced at times. I think the best thing about this film is the humour. There's a lot of humour in there and most of it does hit.
Justine, as gorgeous as ever. Well, you've put on a bit of weight.
Fuck off.
But I think without the humour, this film just would have been so dull. It's not overly tense. There are moments in there, but for the majority of it, it's just the shootout. And because there's not much character development in there, the characters aren't fantastic. The humour was there to kind of pad it out, I think, but it did work. It was a very funny film. The first part of the film before the shootout is kind of getting to know the characters a little bit. You don't really get to know them a great deal. As I said, there's not much character development there, but the first act is mostly about kind of getting to know them while they're trying to put this deal through. And I think they should have possibly elongated that first section a bit, added a bit more depth to the characters, although I'm not actually sure they wanted you to care or like any of the characters. None of them are particularly likeable in this film, and you don't really mind because it's just a shootout. It's a small film in one location, quite gritty. It's not glamorous except for the costumes. The costumes are pretty decent, but other than that, it's quite un-Hollywood. Everyone gets hurt, there's blood, there's gore. Well, I wouldn't say gore, but there's a couple of gross moments, and that's it. I'm really struggling to kind of draw out this review, to be honest, because not all that much goes on. It's just a shootout, but it's an enjoyable shootout, and it's well directed, well performed. It's a good film. I probably wouldn't watch it again unless it was on maybe in the background. It's not really overly rewatchable, but yeah, I liked it. I'm going to give it 71 out of 100, which is a B. I think this came out a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure when it came out in the US. We didn't actually get it in my local cinema, which really annoyed me, even though they showed a preview of it before it was released, which I couldn't make, and then they didn't actually show it when it was released, so not happy about that. Had to go a bit down the road to go and see this film, but I'm glad I did. I think people should go and see this film because it's well made, it's simple, it's watchable and enjoyable, but it's a low budget film. I think it's a British film. I saw that Film 4 had something to do with it, and I do hope it does well. If you've seen Free Fire, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts, and thanks for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye.